everyone, this is Rabbit as well at Animation Bliss, and welcome to another anime discussion series. So today's anime discussion is going to be on my thoughts on the second episode to the Ranma 1/2 remake. So the episode starts off with Ranma having to go to school with Akane since he and his father are going to be staying with the Tendos from this point forward. And of course, Ranma and Akane still argue with each other when they go to school because they had a really bad first impression with each other. But as soon as Ranma and Akane go to school, Ranma finds out that all the boys at school keep trying to fight Akane whenever she tries to get there because they all want to date her. And this is the reason why Akane hates all men. And then it turns out that there's this boy named Kuno who was actually the one who started this whole thing, and it appears that he's the big man on campus and he's like one of the strongest opponents for Akane's affection. And once Kuno realizes that Ranma is actually living with Akane at the moment, he ends up challenging Ranma to a fight, and the rest of the episode is spent on Kuno trying to fight off Ranma. So what are my thoughts on this episode? I really enjoyed this episode. I actually think this episode was a huge step up from the first episode, so let's talk about what I did like about this episode. So the first thing that I liked about this episode was the animation. I've really been enjoying the animation in the show so far. Like, the animation is just so fluid, and it works so well with the fight scenes, and I really love how the fight scenes are done in the series so far, especially when you see the fight between Ranma and Kuno in this episode. That was very well done, and I just really love the characters' facial expressions as they look goofy whenever they're stuck in a wacky situation, or they look pretty threatening whenever they're getting serious. So I really love the animation in this episode. Another thing that I liked about this episode was Kuno himself. So I was definitely looking forward to seeing Kuno make a comeback in the series, and he makes a comeback in such a fantastic way in this remake. Like, I really love everything about Kuno in this episode. Like, he's the most bombastic character that showed up in the show so far, and I just love how he's able to pick a fight with Ranma and try to fight against Akane as well, as he wants Akane's affections. And then we also see how delusional Kuno is, as he thinks that Akane loves him, but of course Akane doesn't even like him. So I do like how the show makes fun of that. And of course, I really like Kuno's new voice. Like, I will admit that when I reviewed the first episode, I wasn't really on board with the new voices at first, because I really love the voices from the original 1989 series, and I was hoping that the same voice actors from the 1989 series would come back and reprise their roles for the remake. But after I heard Kuno's new voice in this episode, I really started to fall more in love with the new voices for the show. Like, I love Ted Cole's voice for Kuno in the original 1989 series, but I really love Jonan Scott's new take on the character. Like, Kuno's voice in this series is deeper, and I will admit that that threw me off a bit at first, but then as the episode went on, I think Kuno's deeper voice actually lends itself so well to his bombastic nature, and I just really love Kuno's new voice in this series. Now, there is one minor issue that I have with this episode, is that even though I love the fight scenes in this episode, I felt like whenever they tried to shift the colors during the fight scenes, it was a little distracting. Like, you have the fight scene in the first episode with Ranma trying to fight his father, who was a panda at the moment, while Ranma was a girl at that point, and you have the color schemes be like red and pink during their fight scene. And then in this episode, the color schemes were changed to blue and black for Kuno's fight against Ranma to kind of reflect the color scheme of Kuno's clothes. So I'm not sure if that's the angle they're going with when it comes to the fight scenes, that they're just like reflecting the color schemes based on what set of characters are fighting each other. But I do find it a little distracting whenever the color schemes change up like that without warning. And yeah, it kind of took me off the fight scenes a bit because of the change in the colors, and it was hard to see the characters fighting at times because the color scheme would be changing. So that's my only minor issue with this episode. And now a word from this channel. All aboard the Animated Social Media Express. Want to send some treats my way? Then follow me on Twitter. Want to join our special animation community? Then join our Discord group, Animation Bliss. Want to see more updates on our YouTube videos? Then check out our Facebook group, Animation Bliss. Want to download on everything going on with this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, back to the video. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. While the fight scenes can be a bit distracting whenever they're changing their color schemes, I love the fact that we finally get to see Ranma in high school and how he's trying to deal with being in high school. And I especially love Kuno himself in this episode. He's like the biggest highlight of this episode, as his bombastic nature really carried this episode for me. And I can't wait to see more of Kuno and other characters pop up in the show later on. So those are my thoughts on the second episode of the Ranma 1/2 remake. And tell me in the comments down below, have you seen the second episode of the new Ranma 1/2 remake? And if you have, did you like this episode? Did you hate this episode? Please let me know in the comments down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this video. This is Rabbit as well, Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later. Hey animation fans, like this video? If you want to see more animated content from this channel, then please hit that big old animated subscribe button so that you can get more awesome content from this channel.